Hello everyone, Dan Borrero, USA Land Ventures, out here on my late morning walk today. Cape Cod, Massachusetts, my annual family trip. This here behind me is one of my stopping points. I love looking over this cliff. I sit right on that bench and get a lot of thinking in. Mostly on not only how to be a better father and husband and uncle and friend and everything else, but a lot to do with business, right? How we're going to improve our business strategies, how we're going to increase our business overall, and simultaneously help people to invest in real estate. That's our goal, helping people how to invest in real estate, and all for free. Dan Borrero, USA Land Ventures. We have just as a reference, we have a YouTube channel that we started several months ago. We got about 44 videos, each about 5 minutes long, or less than 5 minutes. Lots of great information if you want to learn how to invest in real estate. But today's live video is going to be about a conversation I just had while I was taking my morning walk with another investor that I've known, I don't know, approximately 15 to 20 years. We all have different strategies. Some of them work best for each other, for ourselves. What may work for me doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. But having said that, there's some things that are just, sometimes we cut off our nose to spite our face only because of pride or manhood or that macho type of view that we take on. And none of that makes us money, right? Actually, I'll give you a bird's eye view of this cliff area I love coming to. Today it's a little full because I'm here late, but that's normally that full. It's normally not that full in the morning, around 7 in the morning. The sun is still burning the mist off the ocean at that time. But having said that, so the conversation I was having today with this particular investor is that he's worried because he just lost 2 of his commercial tenants. He's got spots in Brooklyn, New York. The rents, I think one is $6,000 a month, the other one's $9,000 a month. So it just so happens that one of his commercial tenants is next to, like 2 buildings over from one of the mixed-use properties that I have, and we rent 2 stores in. Now, so he lost his tenant there, and now he's sweating it. And he's asking me, what is it that I did differently that I haven't lost any of my commercial tenants? I'll tell you what I've done. Essentially, this economic situation that we're having is unprecedented. And we all have to move and pivot accordingly, right? If we don't, we're going to be left behind. That's in any business you're in. If you don't move according to the situation or the economy in its present state, or where it's going to be, you got to anticipate. Of course, it's tough to anticipate this situation with COVID-19. But what I've done, I can tell you what I've done. So tenants that were forced to close, for instance, beauty parlors, restaurants, things, barbershops, they didn't have a choice. The government imposed that on them. It wasn't something that they decided one day to wake up and say, I don't want to take the risk, right? That wasn't a personal choice. That was a choice made because of the government imposing that choice on them. However, they are still utilizing the space. They've got their equipment there. They have their tools there. They have a business to come back to, and the government was going to let them reopen. So here in New York, the government has let them reopen. We're at Dickens Street, stage 3. Well, we're not in New York now, I'm in Cape Cod, but my properties are in New York. So we're at a stage 3 rather. So restaurants are able to open, not indoor dining, but outside dining. Beauty parlors are able to have a certain amount of people in getting their hair done, depending on the square footage and how far apart they are from each other. That would depend on the amount, but they can schedule all these things. They can make a living. So what I did with my commercial tenants was I said to those guys that were actually imposed on by the government to close, I said, pay me half the rent. I didn't, especially the tenants that were reaching out to me, and they weren't hiding, they weren't putting their heads in the sand, especially if I've never had a problem with them. At the end of the day, we all have to share this pain, and we're all going to have to navigate through these murky waters. If we don't, we're going to lose, just like my friend is. So he's got one unit that's paying $6,000 a month, another unit that was paying $9,000 a month. He's down $15,000 a month. Why? Because he didn't want to negotiate. He had the opportunity to negotiate. He had the opportunity to negotiate with his tenants in good faith. Guys, tenants, especially commercial tenants, retail tenants, they come into work, they're working 10, 12 hours a day, 6, 7 days a week. They don't easy life. And I can tell you, because I was in retail for 25 years, all while I was building my real estate business. If you don't negotiate in good faith, what you're forcing them to do is leave. Now, my tenants came back. Actually, in the month of July, I told them, the ones that did come back that were forced upon to close by the government, I went so far as say to them, even though they were open in July, pay me half the month. Pay me only half again. Why? Because I've been in retail and I understand it takes some time to get all them back. So they don't have the availability to have everyone in the store like they normally would. So they have to do things by appointments or one person at a time, which cuts down on revenue. Revenue then cuts down, the lack of revenue then cuts down on profits. And again, they're trying to make a living just like we are. So the point of this particular video is don't be a schmuck if you're a landlord. Yeah, it's tough, absolutely. But it's just as tough on your tenants, on your commercial tenants. You know, spread the hardship. We're all going to have to suffer through this, figure out our way through it. But at the end of the day, you could be somebody like myself where I negotiated in good faith with my tenants. And then, or you could be somebody like the person who just called me and they just lost their two great tenants, commercial tenants, and they're down $15,000 a month, which is a hell of a lot of money. Comes out to $180,000 a year. Who's winning, right? My tenants came back. I collected half the month rent for maybe 3 months on each of them, but I have longevity, right? They're back, they're paying normal, what the normal rent is again, and moving forward, they're there every month and they're still paying me. If you have any questions in reference to investing in real estate, by all means, feel free to give me a call. I love paying it forward. Dan Borrero, USA Land Ventures. Visit our website, USA Land Ventures, for other articles as well as information, or you can visit our YouTube channel again that we started recently. It's approximately 44 videos right now.